If your music has become predictable and you're desperately looking for this next spark of inspiration and innovation, then stop scrolling, I have something for you. Imagine unlocking creative superpowers by listening to the music you don't like. Sounds crazy, right? But no worries, in this video I'm going to show you my hate listening method. So if you're ready to destroy your creative block, let's jump in. I'm gonna show you how to do it. But before you even press play on the song from your nightmares, there are several things that I would like you to know, especially why I even want you to sacrifice your mental health and your ears for the sake of good music. So first of all, we live in a time where our musical taste is defined by algorithms. And Spotify and all the other streaming platforms, they don't necessarily want you to discover new stuff. They want you to feel comfortable and stay on their platform. So even if you Shazammed a new amazing track last night in the bar, came back home, and after listening to it, thought it's so fire that you want to know more about this new amazing genre, you press start on the radio based on the song, and 2 songs in, you're already back to this old familiar ground. It doesn't matter what is your desire, what kind of music you would like to listen to, how wonderful your playlist collection is. It's the algorithm that decides what you are listening to and what you will be listening to, as long as you're not manually handcrafting your musical experience. Streaming system is not designed to spark creativity, inspiration, but to keep you in the comfort zone, right? And this serves as a risk for not only listeners who are just constantly in this loop, in a bubble of familiar sounds, but for us producers, this is also risky. But we should also serve the art. At the end, what we create is based on what we consume. So don't be surprised if your music also sounds repetitive.
But it sounds the same, and that's what counts.
And what's the solution? We need novelty. Our brain loves novelty, fresh stuff, so this is what releases dopamine. Think about how you react when you try new synth. Experiment with a completely different set than you used to have. It immediately sparks some ideas. And the same goes for the listener. If you're listening to the same blob of music, whenever something new hits, something fresh, your brain goes active. It's no longer background music. You are excited and you are actually paying attention to what you hear. This is why producers put ear candy or like one shots here and there, or try to distinguish first chorus from the second, because we don't like to be repetitive too much. Every style of music has its specific music characteristics. It can be a rhythm, for example, think about Afrobeats and their polyrhythms, or it can be specific harmonies, different scales, modes, or intonation of the vocalist, or completely new instruments. So in this method, we are not going to fuse genres with each other. We are talking about getting inspiration and using your own imagination to make them work with your music. Alright, so how do we do that? Well, I'm listening to this Turkish pop. Due to copyright, you listen to me instead of my songs. Pick the style of music, find several random songs. Take a notebook and note down everything that stands out. Everything that makes you feel inspired, that trigger something in you. So your job is not to copy, but extract what's interesting. And here is the checklist, the list of sonic attributes that you can look for in any style of music that you are listening to. Feel free to take a screenshot. And the most important are obviously the instrumentation, the use of harmonies, even different tuning. What is the characteristic of each sound, the texture, the melody, harmony, what's the form or structure of the song, or even what are the roles that instruments are playing in it. Everything can be of inspiration. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, it's exciting. Alright, so while I was listening to my Turkish pop, I made some notes. We're not gonna implement all of these things at once, that would be too much. For example, what I noticed, in Turkish music they often use darbuka, if I pronounce it correctly. It's a hand drum, and it has a very cool timbre, and this is the point I decided to steal from Turkish pop and implement it here in this example. But another thing that maybe we can also sneak in here is the use of ornaments. This is very popular in Middle Eastern music. And yeah, let's focus on these two. I made some cheesy loop just to give you the glimpse of what we can do based on my Turkish pop experience. So let's listen to the beat. Here we have only kick, some melodic parts and a chord. That's it, not much processing. I didn't even do a sidechain here, so very simple stuff. But we are here to focus on the clue, which is adding some freshness to our tracks. So in the first roll we have darbuka. So I downloaded some samples to give you the glimpse of the instrument. Cool, huh? So first of all, of course, you can simply add this sample to the beat. Let's actually hear how it sounds together. Cool, right? Second thing that you can use the sample for is to extract its groove. And this groove can help you add some more life to your drums, especially if you're using a very stable 4-to-the-floor pattern. How we do this is simply by clicking, right-click on the sample and click Extract Grooves. I'm not gonna do this because I already did that. I applied it to my kick. Once you click it, the groove will apply itself. So you don't need to do much apart from changing how much of it you want to hear. So if we double-click on the kick drum, you can see that this is the groove that I extracted. I can open the groove pool and decide on the amount every other setting. Oh yeah, let's go back to the darbuka. So, not literally. The third thing that you can do, and this is what I did, is simply recreate this groove, the pattern, but on your own terms. I don't necessarily want to make organic techno, or however you would call it. I just liked how it rolls. When we were listening to the original sample, you could hear that despite being in one instrument, each hit, depending on how was it performed, produces different sound. So we can think of higher, mid, and lower tones of the drum. So going with this rule, this is how I set up my kit. So I selected samples that would give me different sounds. Let's try them out. All of them are processed by this audio effects at the beginning with a reverb. That's why it sounds like it sounds, but what you need to know here is that you need to find this sweet balance where all of these tones are just played around each other. And this is very hard to explain because you simply need to listen actively and try to recreate it. And then my take on percussives. It's not one-to-one copied into my arrangement, but it definitely helped me build this groove. So this is a manual exercise. Of course, you can try to use the convert drums to MIDI track option, but it's not so cool. It gives you very mechanic sounds, and you still need to dig a lot. So instead of trying to find shortcuts, I simply looked at the waveforms. I listened to the track. You can also try to listen to it in a slower tempo. Of the wave length and height of the sample here from darbuka. This allowed me to to quickly identify the highlights, the accents in the pattern. And I of course applied the groove that I extracted from the original sample. Let's see how it adds to the loop. Come on. Yeah, super cool, huh? And yeah, it was, the price I paid was just listening to Tarkan. In Turkish music, they have a pretty specific way of emphasizing the end of a bar, of the section, and like to make transitions. But I think the most characteristic one is the use of ornaments. So let's draw something here. What about? Yeah, I'm gonna draw some notes. And let's see. But definitely not the same instrument. They use strings. I think we're missing one note. Let's make it better. I'm not a perfectionist. There we go. So yeah, let's check this loop out. This is just a quick exercise that I did in several minutes. I highly encourage you to do it more seriously and see where it takes you.
Where are you taking me?
You'll see.
So after listening to this Turkish pop, I'm sure that I'll learn something from the hand drum and the way the percussive elements can be built in the track. I like the ornaments. I like several other things that were in my notebook, but not sure if this is something that I want to do in my tracks. But who knows, maybe this will trigger something else. So that's how you steal like an artist.
Good artists copy, great artists steal.
Try it yourself. Pick a genre you don't like, listen to 5 songs, make notes on what stands out for you, and then take these notes, not the songs, back to the studio and see where it takes you. I'm really curious. Please drop a comment and let us know what was your choice. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe and see you next time.